Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Golden Falls, Golden What If, whatever you want to call me. Back with the finale of What If Deku was the reincarnation of Tanjiro. Sorry for the delay in this finale or this part. Sorry to the people that really like this series, because I know there is some people that are enjoying it a good amount, and it took me a bit to actually get it out. Sorry about that. Hey, real quick. Y'all like the new intro? I think the new intro is kind of sick. Leave in the comments below if you like the new intro. Definitely fits my logo, my name, Golden What If, whatever. But I think it was pretty sick. It took a while to get here. It's supposed to be here in like 2 weeks. It took like 4. It's all good. But at least we got it now. But yeah. So, if you're enjoying this series, and I mean, this is the finale, but if you enjoyed the series, please leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, that's about it. Make sure to comment below any other what ifs you want me to do. I'm not gonna waste any more of your time. We're just gonna get right into it. The rest of his class lands on the ground, and everyone begins to run through the forest, fighting off various monsters created by Pixie Bob. When they emerge at the campground, everyone is extremely bruised and tired. Aizawa tells them that they will be having food, and then the day will be over for now. Midoriya sees a kid and walks over to him, introducing himself. "Hi, my name is Midoriya. What's yours?" The kid goes to punch him in, well, the family jewels, but Midoriya easily dodges, telling him that wasn't very nice. It is then explained to him that the kid's name is Koda, and that he doesn't like heroes at all, and that his parents died to a villain attack a little while back, and now he just holds this grudge. Midoriya then says that he lost his whole family to a villain attack as well, which shocks the Wild Pussycats, but Midoriya walks away to go basically just meet up with the rest of his class. The day ends, and when the next day arrives, Aizawa explains that everyone will be doing their own specialized training. Everyone enters their training, but Aizawa explains what he wants Midoriya to do. "Midoriya, I want you to work on a combination of breathings by using different forms of different types of elements for long periods of time. I'm sure this will be difficult in the beginning, but it will make your attacks a lot more effective and should increase your stamina from what I understand about how your quirk works." Midoriya shakes his head and begins to train. During his training, he begins to use his water breathing, creating a spiral of water around him, and then a spiral fire that surrounds him. He tries to hold both of these at the same time, allowing him to create insanely powerful combo moves, but at the same time increasing his overall strength and stamina by a lot. After about one more day of training, night approached, and some people were eating food for dinner, and others were participating in this act of courage. Midoriya realized that Koda left without eating any food, so following his scent, he found the mountain that he was at. "Koda, it's me, Midoriya. I brought you some food." Koda comes out. "How did you find me?" "I have a pretty good sense of smell." "Koda, I have a question for you. Why do you hate heroes so much?" Koda explains what happened to his parents and how they died while on duty. "Well, I guess you and me are basically the same." What, how?" "My parents were killed by some villains when I was just 4 years old. And frankly, that is the reason why I want to be a hero." Koda looks at him in shock. "Very admirable kid, but you just sound weak to me." Midoriya grabs Koda, dashing away while this huge man tries to swing and hit them both. "Koda, run! You have to run!" Midoriya begins to fight the villain by the name of Muscular. "Damn, I'm exhausted from all that training, but I need to make sure Koda is safe." Water breathing, 11th form, dead calm. Water continues to swirl around Midoriya. "What, kid, you think a little water pressure is gonna save you?" Muscular tries to charge in, but he's a lot slower than before. "What? Why am I so slow?" Midoriya's fire begins to swirl around him as well, heating up the water around him. Tell me, why are you here? Why would I tell you that, kid? Because I'm gonna cook you like a lobster if you don't tell me why you're attacking my class. You're bluffing. Midoriya begins to engulf the water with flames, heating it up even quicker. Okay. We're here for that Bakugo kid. And you. Midoriya, as he hears this, is just completely shut out everything else and begins to use a brand new breathing form. Breathing form, clear blue sky. A 360 of flames travel to Muscular, making him go completely unconscious and basically in a state of stasis. Midoriya begins to run faster than he has ever ran before, seeing Aizawa explaining to him that they are after Bakugo, not telling him that they actually are after him as well. Midoriya dashes off, finding his classmates, chasing someone. He sees them and they yell, "They have Bakugo!" Midoriya's sword lights ablaze and his eyes flash red, but then fade back to its normal green. For breathing form, dancing flash! He suddenly is in front of Mr. Compress, cutting off one of his hands, and the marbles drop. Damn, kid! I can tell you have my brother. You still have Kanchan. Give him back! Using his hilt of his sword, he smashes it into Mr. Compress, and he spits out the marbles hidden in his mouth. Bakugo emerges and out of the marble and blasts the villain in the face with an explosion. Compress runs, and the villains seemingly retreat. They make it to the camp, seeing that all the villains are gone, and they retreated, after the plan obviously failed. We have to go, problem children. They leave, and when they arrive into the city, there is a big screen showing a fight between All Might and All For One. Midoriya looks at Aizawa. Where is that happening? Midoriya, you know I can't tell you that. And plus, I don't even know. Why is no one helping him? They are outmatched, Midoriya. And don't even think about it. They all get out to watch the big screen. And as they watch Midoriya, Midoriya realizes how close they actually are. Seeing a building that looks very familiar to him. He whispers to himself, that's only like half a mile away. I'm sorry, Aizawa. Punish me later. What? Kid? Bakugo looks at him. There's no stop. there's no stopping him. It's just nature at this point. But I promise you won't die. Oh, hopefully. Midoriya, about 1 minute later, enters the picture. Young Midoriya, what are you doing here? Something really dumb. Who is this All Might? Oh, who is this All Might? Your successor? A student? Don't matter. He will die with you. Midoriya stands by All Might. Grab my shoulder. All Might remembers what Bakugo and him did during the final exam, and he listens. Water breathing, 11th form, dead calm. What is this? It's so minuscule. All For One begins to walk forward, but both of them can tell he's slightly slower now. All Might then disappears from sight, and All For One begins to look around trying to find him. Thunder breathing, 5th form, heat lightning. Launching basically lightning strikes at him and heating up the water on top of it. All For One gets slightly paralyzed, but then he shoots tendrils at Midoriya, stabbing him through like the shoulder and his leg. All Might then reappears. United States of Smash! Landing a clean blow on a stunned All For One, knocking him out cold. Midoriya then wakes up in Recovery Girl's office. She catches him up on what actually happened and asks if he's okay. Once he says, yeah, like that I think he's okay, that he's okay, and she just slaps him across the face, telling him not to do something crazy like that ever again. How long have I been out? Well, about a week. Actually, the classes have moved into dorms. Don't worry, Bakugo already moved her stuff in. Midoriya walks out the door to see Bakugo about to enter. Bakugo punches him in the chest. Damn nerd, you're freaking crazy. What? Whoa. Were you worried, Kachan? Whatever, nerd. Let's go. After everyone greets Midoriya back into the dorms, and All Might visits him, thanking him for the help, but that what he did was extremely risky, and he really shouldn't do things like that. But at the end of the day, he told Midoriya that he helped him a lot. Class then began once again. Okay, children, listen up. We will be working on our super move training today, and for some of the week as well. We will also be participating in the Provisional license exam later in the week. The class goes to the gym and they begin to work on super moves. Midoriya begins to work on some things he thinks about, and he wonders if he's actually going to be able to do it. Instead of channeling his elements through his sword, what if he tries to adapt it throughout his whole body, adding basically a whole new fighting style without his sword? After a couple of days, he's been working on that, and the provisional licensing exam came, and Class 1A went and was greeted by someone from another school. Everyone greeted him back until Midoriya walked up. I can smell that this is a fake greeting from literally a mile away. Bakugo then walks up and, "Yeah, scram, you extra." They question him, but they realize that that basically Midoriya can sense how people truly feel with, well, his sense of smell. They walk into the exam site, and the proctor explains that the first test will deal with everyone having 3 lights on their body, and they must turn off 6 other lights to pass, like, to the next part. Midoriya walks over to Bakugo before it starts. "Yo, Kachan, you want to work together?" "Yeah, whatever, nerd. Just don't slow me down." Yeah, don't slow you down. I know. They head off, and a group of ninja-looking people show up. Bakugo then begins to say something. "Okay, what is this? Some TV show now? What are you wearing?" Midoriya puts his sword away. "You damn nerd. That is pretty cocky." Nah. I've been working on something." Midoriya dashes upward as these large items begin to get thrown at him. They start small, but as another quirk activates, it makes them 10 times bigger than before. Bakugo falls behind, charging in, blasting one in the face, and as Midoriya kicks another in his body, covering him in static and basically paralyzing him. He backs up, and his whole body, or Midoriya's whole body, is basically under the state of like thunder breathing. Midoriya gets hit though with a large bolt, and Bakugo blasts it off of him, catching him as he turns off his thunder breathing. Explode-a-bolt! Midoriya begins to have fire engulf him slightly, and when he hits the ground, the fire spreads in an explosion, knocking out all the ninjas. They turn off, they tag all their lights, and Bakugo tells Midoriya that he needs to work on the technique a little more, but it's pretty useful for group battles. Midoriya shakes his head and thanks him as they basically just wait for the next test. The rest of Class 1A passes, and the next event is announced as the rescue portion. As the students walk out, and Midoriya begins to help in the aid of evacuating the actors, or the people playing the distressed people, after a bit of rescuing, an alarm begins to sound. A bunch of villains emerge, as well as Gang Orca himself. Midoriya puts down a child in the rescue area and begins to see a student from Shuketsu High get completely blasted by Gang Orca. Todoroki and another student by the name of Inasa step up to fight, but their abilities begin to clash with each other, and they begin to argue. Gang Orca is about to knock them out, but Midoriya jumps in, slicing at Gang Orca. Midoriya yells at them to focus and stop being dumb. "Both of you, attack again, but right in front of me, now!" They hesitate but listen as they're questioning why would they just attack in front of him. as they blast both of their quirks, their fire and their wind, it doesn't cancel each other out. Actually, the wind and fire will begin to swirl around Midoriya's sword. Midoriya redirects it toward Gang Orca, blasting him with it. As this happens, water begins to surround them both as Midoriya uses his water breathing 11th form, making it so Gang Orca can't just dodge out of the way. Then the speakers turn on. The exam is over now. Please make your way to the exit. Midoriya stops fighting, and Gang Orca nods at him in acknowledgement, and showing that he's impressed with the plan that Midoriya came up with, basically on the fly. Basically saving the other two students, like, from just completely failing in terms of the 2-on-1 fight that was about to happen. The results are announced and Midoriya passes. The only people who actually don't pass are, well, this doesn't change, Inasa and Todoroki, due to obviously their arguing. The rest of the week passes, and when the next week starts, Aizawa explains the plan. Okay, problem children, this is the big three of UA, and they will be explaining your work studies. The first guy, by the name of Tamaki, initially tries to explain, but then gets stage fright. Nejire, which is the female of the group, tries as well, but then gets distracted and begins to ask questions and wants to do a Q&A. Aizawa, obviously frustrated, then Mirio decides basically just to tell everyone to meet him at the gym so that they could fight. As the fight starts, almost everyone in Class 1A is knocked out pretty quickly, except for Bakugo and Midoriya. They both look at each other, ready to continue the fight, just the two of them. But, okay, that is enough for today. But Mr. Aizawa, go back to class, problem children. They all go back, and Mirio basically begins to explain that he has gotten this strong because of his work study with Sir Night-Eye and at his agency. Everyone gasped talking about Night-Eye and saying how crazy it is that he works with Sir Night-Eye. The class ends and Aizawa tells them to pick a work study to apply for as soon as possible. Midoriya walks outside as Mirio approaches him. You're Midoriya, right? Yeah, that's me. Why? Well, I've been requested by Sir Night-Eye himself to take you to his agency. Whoa, seriously? They head over and Night-Eye greets Midoriya and tells him the rest to basically just leave the room so they can talk. So, Midoriya, I've heard many good things about you throughout this year, but I wasn't too sure about it until I saw you help All Might fight All for One, when no other hero would step in. A bit reckless, but very impressive. I would like to offer you a spot in my work study. I feel like you could benefit greatly from my work study, as well as I can benefit from your work. I would love to join your agency for a work study. I'm a big fan of you and how much you do for our society. Thank you, Midoriya. Well, I will sign your paper and you will begin patrolling tomorrow with Mirio. The next day came and Night-Eye explains that they have been looking for a villain by the name of Overhaul, and he shows a picture. And that they say that Overhaul is the leader of a gang called the Shiha Hazaikai. And that if they come across him, that they are not to fight him at all, or basically they want to avoid him at all costs. They both leave, and the patrol is mostly uneventful, and they just begin to talk about things. So Mirio, what is your quirk exactly? He explains that his quirk is called permeation, and how he basically phases in and out of objects. Yeah, but what about when you were fighting us? Your strength seemingly increased when you're fighting the stronger members of my class. Before he can answer, a little girl comes stumbling out of the alleyway, falling into Midoriya. Oh, are you okay, little one? She grabs Midoriya and holds on seemingly for dear life. Sorry about my daughter. She's a bit clumsy at times. They realize and recognize him as Overhaul. Mirio begins to diffuse the situation by acting as if, yeah, like, I understand, like, how kids can be sometimes. Midoriya begins to inspect the little girl, seeing she's covered in bandages. Sir, is your daughter okay? Yeah, I just yelled at her, so she's a little spooked at the moment. The little girl grips harder as if the man just said a lie. Midoriya can smell the fear on Eri, and just smell all the foul play all over Overhaul. Overhaul begins to take off a glove. You know, mister, my little sister was just as cute as your daughter. Kids are adorable, huh? Yes, quite so. So tell me, why did you hurt her? In an instant, Midoriya headbutts Overhaul, launching him backwards. Midoriya, what are you doing? Get Eri to Night Eye's agency. Trust me, Mirio. Go. Now. So what, kid? You can smell killing intent or what? You can say that. But I'm not here to talk. Their fight begins as spikes begin to get launched at Midoriya as he uses his constant flux water breathing technique basically to dodge and slice through all the spikes and basically close the distance where Overhaul is, but doesn't do any significant damage. Midoriya realizes that if he is touched by this man, it may be all over. The fight continues as Midoriya tries to use all of his fastest forms, so for one, he can't be touched by Overhaul's quirk. And eventually, his sword gets vaporized by Overhaul's quirk, and Midoriya has to fight hand to hand. His body gets covered in fire, and he begins to basically land clean blows on Overhaul, but nothing that would knock him out for good. Midoriya then misses a punch slightly, getting his arm disassembled and destroyed. Oh, my arm! My arm! He begins to basically panic as his arm is just completely gone. Overhaul just begins to laugh. Midoriya looks up, but it doesn't look like him anymore. His eyes turn this veiny looking red color, and his arm just begins to grow back. His nails grow sharp, and his very scream sends shockwaves blasting Overhaul backwards in his mindscape. What? Where am I? Am I dead? No, that can't be. I just lost my arm. Yeah, you're not dead for sure. Definitely not dead. What? Who was that? Oh, I am Tanjiro Kamado. Nice to meet you, Izuku Midoriya. Wait, how do you know my name? I mean, you are my reincarnation. What is happening right now is your demon form has activated. Not exactly sure how it works in this world, but you are going berserk at this moment. What? How do I stop it? You can't necessarily stop it, but you can control it. How? Give me your hand. He grabs his hand and begins to see the life of Tanjiro and what occurred when he went under his demon transformation. But I don't have an antidote. Yes, but this is different. You aren't a demon. Only demon-like. Just remember why you are a hero. Remember, what are you doing this for, young Midoriya? Spine-like protrusions emerge from his body, slamming and knocking out Overhaul. Midoriya, are you okay? He looks at Mirio and screams, sending Mirio back a little bit. The Midoriya within can actually now see throughout his own eyes, but mostly blur. Calm down, son. Everything is fine. We are so proud of you. You truly became a great hero. Mom? Is that you? Yes, it's me. I missed you so much. I know, but we can't stay for long. But just know, me and your sisters and your brothers, we're proud of you. And so is your father. We're all proud of you. His eyes begin to tear up and Midoriya collapses out cold. He wakes up to see Mirio sitting in recovery girl's office. What happened to me? Well, I'm not sure. You kind of went berserk and lost your arm. But for some reason, you had it when you were going berserk, so I'm not sure how it became like this. He shows Midoriya, and his arm is basically looks like a dead weed. I'm not sure. What about Eri? Is she okay? Yes, she's actually asking about you for the most part. Midoriya finally is allowed to see Eri. She actually gives him a big hug, thanking him for saving her. She sees his arm though and begins to cry. Don't cry, Eri. It's okay, I promise. She continues to cry and she touches his arm. She activates her quirk by accident actually and rewinds his arm back to before Overhaul actually destroyed it. Aizawa quickly deactivates her quirk. Whoa, your arm, it's fine now. You did that, Eri. You made my arm better. She begins to cry once again, but seemingly happy tears. She hugs Midoriya and basically is happy to have someone, and Midoriya himself is happy to basically have saved someone so defenseless from a man that cared so little about her, making him feel like he has made his family and, most importantly, his mother proud. And that is it for this What If. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Also, if you want to support me even more, feel free to hit the join button and basically be a member. It's $5 a month. Obviously not mandatory at all. I just kind of preference this because I know there's some people that may not know, or maybe they do want to join and they didn't even realize. So yeah, I always like throwing it in there, but obviously again, don't have to do that. You liking, you subscribing, you commenting, all that helps me a great ton. You watching the video alone helps me a great ton. So yeah, that's about it. Like I said, if you enjoyed, please let me know. Leave any suggestions down below that you would like to see. I'll try my best to get to them. I have a new My Hero Academia What If in the works right now. I have the thumbnail for it and everything. We're just creating the script. It's gonna be a movie, so it's not gonna be a 3-parter, but it's gonna be a movie. I hope you guys like it a lot. I'm not gonna say, but if you're in my community tab often, then you should know what it is. But other than that, I'm really glad. I'd be really glad if you guys could leave a like and subscribe, obviously. I hope you guys enjoyed, and that's enough of me. Yeah, I hope everyone has a great day. Later.